Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. I'm having some fun. Check this out. So what I've done here is I've taken the plans that I drew up and I basically exploded them to actual size. So you can see here how it's going to lay out. I even put all the angles that each of these pieces are at. This is going to be the tail section. The tail section is going to bolt to the front section, which is going to be where the pilot and passenger sit, and where all the wings are attached to and all that. So I'm going to go, in this video, I'm going to go into what I decided to what I decided to do as far as what kind of airplane this is going to be. It's going to be a tail wheel. Tail dragger. I want to redeem myself. I ground looped my previous plane, the Flybaby, and it scared me out of flying it for a very long time afterwards. So I want to redeem myself. I want to get back into tail dragger because tail draggers are amazing. They really teach you how to be a better pilot. Yeah, so just to reiterate, this is going to be a complete scratch-built aircraft, and it's my own design, but it's going to resemble something similar to the Lockwood Aircam, sort of, or its little brother, the Lockwood, I think it's called the Max Air. So two-seat tandem. It's going to have haven't decided, I'm still working on the wing design and wingspan currently, but more than likely it'll be it'll be more than 30 feet. So yeah, I'm thinking it might be more like 28 feet, and then just a large camber wing, so very draggy, but should hopefully cruise around between 70 and 80 miles an hour. If I can get that, I'll be a happy guy. It is going to be twin engine. Don't know the engines I'm going to use quite yet. Still trying to source them out. Props, which I'm going to aim for either a 2 or 3 blade warp drive propellers. They're lightweight, ground adjustable, and they're just all around great propellers. So I'm going to show you guys what I have jigged up here and how I'm going about doing this, and I'll show you guys how I'm going to run the metal and all that jazz. So here we go. Let me just get this turned around again. So yeah, this is my island bench table that I built a few months ago, and before it had a bunch of like newspaper paper running across it. My brother was doing his airbrushing in here, and so that all that paper is right there. But he was doing some painting in here, and then I was rebuilding and finishing a guitar that I disassembled about 10 years ago. Finally got it done. I'll show you guys some of those pictures later on. But yeah, so I took this is one-to-one drawing of the plans that I drew up. So basically, the fuselage width from here to there is 2.5 feet. It is fairly wide for a fuselage, but the plane I trained in was a Beaver RX 550, and it was very similar in width as far as the fuselage goes. Jigging this up, this is going to be 2.5 feet, like I said, so 30 inches from the outermost portion here to the outermost portion here. So I made sure to measure it nicely. I got this 1-inch dowel, cut off some 1-inch pieces. It wasn't exactly 1 inch. I didn't really care the size of them as long as they were tall enough where a piece like that, if I laid it out, it would sit right on there nicely, and it does. So I put them along the line in the open space here, and then on the outside here, or inside here, there's going to be another one. But it's going to be, instead of the holes drilled right in the center, it's going to be drilled slightly off center, more like, kind of like there. That way, when you put the screw in, you can actually turn it, and always go opposite of this one. You can turn it and it will cam it becomes a cam, and you just turn it and it locks that piece in. I may or may not do that. I have a whole ton of those clamps right there. I might just use that, set it on there, clamp it in, and then I can have my space to do what I need to. The only thing is for these cross members here, then I lose this whole area here from the clamp. So I might do the cam. It just makes it a little bit easier. But yeah, that's how it's drawn up right now. I'm super pleased with how it looks. And it's much bigger than I thought it was going to be. It always is when it comes from paper to actual, you know, laid out on a jig. I'm going to bring down a piece of metal, line it up on that side because I have the inside all drawn out. And then, yeah, we'll see how it looks, how it fits, and all that jazz. Alright, so I've got that laid out. I do have a couple of these already marked, so I'm going to grab those. And yeah, just kind of goes in there right like that. And then yeah, there'll be a piece on this side that will cam in like that, or I can just push it up like that, screw it in, call it good. It'll be nice and snug, so when I put the next piece in, I push it down and it should be okay. But where are you? I'm happy with that. I guess it's good morning now. Just about 1 o'clock in the morning. I've been working in the shop most of the day. I do have a little bit of news. The tube notcher I have is a little bit too small. I had to do a lot of adjustments to the one tube that I did notch. I'll show you guys here. So this is the tube that came off of the end here. So this is what I was talking about earlier, the clamps to hold it in place. It works actually really, really well, and there are no bends down that whole rod, so that's good. I am very happy with that. Of course, like I said, down there I'm gonna have to actually cut the ends of those, which is okay. Use this to cut nice clean cut off the end. And then this piece, I knew I was going to be able to use this because down there is a piece that's actually shorter than this. So I can actually cut the other end off a little bit more and then notch it and be all good. So that's the notch that it gave me. And I did use my digital protractor there on my, it's a little dark, on my tube notcher here. So one thing I did find out is you actually have to use the opposite side of that angle. So it's not 82 degrees. It's 82 degrees from that flat to this flat, but what you need is actually the opposite side of that. So 90 degrees minus 82 degrees, that's going to give you 8, and that's what you plug into here. Obviously that's just hanging out, but that's my gauge there. There's no needle anywhere. Gotta love Amazon Chinese stuff, but there's no needle on it. So that's why I have the digital protractor. It works really well. I just stuck it to the side here, right by the tube, where the tube went through, made my cut. It's too small, so I actually had a whole bunch left on the end, which is right here. So I had to grind that all the way on my another Amazon belt sander thing. But yeah, I'm going to wait till that other hole saw gets here. I ordered 2 of them because they're cheap. Why not? And I'm going to be using a whole heck of a lot. So better to have too many than not enough. And then have to wait a couple days to order them because I can't find that size at any of my hardware stores. They are Bosch, so they're good hole saws. But I can't find that weird size. It's a 17 millimeter or a 11/16. So that should be a much better result as far as the cut goes. And my friend actually told me, he's like, it's better to go a little bit too big so it cuts right through the outer diameter of the tube. Because my tube notcher, also being from Amazon, could be the mandrel guide probably not completely 100% center. So with that being said, I'll work with it. You run what you brung, right? That's the saying. So I'm gonna use what I've got here in my shop, and yeah. So that was this weekend's project, and getting the table all jigged up, and then I got a couple of the tubes laid out and marked up. But I am really happy with how things are going so far. So yeah, that's my 1 a.m. chime in. Good morning, good evening, and good night. Name the movie. Anyway, I'll chime off. Chime off. Good grief. I need to go to bed. Bye.